Hey guys, we are back with the Screen Team, being joined by Sabrina for this very special review of one of the greatest trilogies of all time. You're moving kind of close to me here. I'm a little bit nervous. I don't know what to expect, man. We're here reviewing movies about apes and give me the willies, dude. The movie we're getting ready to review is War of the Planet of the Apes. And as I stated before, this is probably one of the greatest movie trilogies of all time. I mean, it really is. You know, you can throw The Godfather in there. You can throw the Toy Story trilogy in there. You can...
You're the only person I know that can go from The Godfather to Toy Story.
But we're talking about trilogies. I'm not saying... You're not listening to me, all right? I'm not saying that... We're talking about trilogies as a whole.
Right. I'm listening.
Really?
Clearly.
Okay. But would you not agree that the Toy Story trilogy is one of the greatest trilogies of all time?
Yes.
Would you not agree that the Godfather trilogy is one of the greatest trilogies of all time?
That's what I hear.
We're now including Planet of the Apes in there as well.
Okay.
It started with Rise, then Dawn came in and just blew anything Rise did, and now we've got War of the Planet of the Apes. And this movie continues to follow Caesar, who's the leader of the apes, and his journey to try to live a peaceful life. And
he just wants to get along and be left alone.
Yeah.
And raise his babies.
It's just not happening. And we see that early on. They're getting hunted by this military group, which is led by Woody Harrelson's character.
Right.
And
the Colonel.
The Colonel. He's a bad dude. Bad dude, the
Crazy.
Colonel. They just want to... The humans just want to wipe the apes completely off the earth.
They're a little bitter.
Yeah, you could say that.
But the apes didn't create the simian flu.
That's
they didn't
true.
sit down in a chemistry lab and go, hey, let's tinker with some stuff.
True.
That's all I got.
Whose fault is it
That's
then?
man's.
Oh, okay. I was hoping you would throw that out there, you know. If you're going to blame somebody, you got to own it.
Yep, I did.
So what did you think? What did you think about this movie, War for the Planet of the Apes? Are you on board with me? Is this a good movie?
Yeah, it's incredible. I think all three of them are very well. Like it's a nice line of movies, and one that you have to get the whole collection.
Yeah.
I mean, back in the day, this would have been the perfect one to get, to sit down and watch. When all you had was 3 channels, and they had the original Planet of the Apes series that came out, and was it Charlton Heston or who was in it?
Oh yeah, it was Charlton Heston.
But like those things, like they had big shoes to fill because those were iconic movies. Nobody made movies with walking, talking apes,
right?
But they did, and so you start trying to bring stuff back, and you can really mess things up. But the visionaries behind this one, they nailed it.
Well, let's talk about the visionaries, indeed. On this show, I have said it, Michael has said it, a lot of other reviewers on the show have said it, that CGI can be a hindrance to a movie. But a lot of times it can be a help and a great storyteller. And the visual effects with this film was truly outstanding.
They've come a long way, and I've probably heard a lot of people like you complain about it.
When you look at what The Rise did, and you're like, oh, you can kind of see a little bit here that kind of looks a little funky to what we are with War of the Planet of the Apes.
Oh, you forget all about the CGI.
I mean, it's real. It's real, like...
It's refined.
There's a scene where there's a close relationship with the orangutan. I think his name is Maurice, and a little girl that they find.
Yeah.
Little human girl. And they're both just looking at each other. And you would think that wasn't a real orangutan.
Yeah, and then he carries her around on his back, and something okay, you've got a human being who really exists and an orangutan that does not exist.
That's played by a human
being with a suit on.
Right.
But the interaction between the girl and the orangutan looks 100% realistic.
I want to add something. When you say a suit on, he's got a suit that has like all the
little ball things
on it.
Yeah.
It's not like he's wearing an orangutan suit. That's
right.
all. That's all digitalized.
Yeah, it's all brought on later.
Right.
So, and by the way, phenomenal job by the little girl.
Oh yeah, I agree 100%.
I mean, she just owned the scenes that she was in,
and she doesn't talk. She doesn't talk.
She's so expressionistic
she was great.
and just beautiful to look at, and such a great element to add to this series. a kind heart amongst so many angry ones.
I want to add something on here, and I've heard a lot of other reviewers mention this, and I want to mention it on our show. The movie is called War for the Planet of the Apes. There's not a lot of war scenes in this film. You've got the very beginning, there's a conflict.
Yeah.
At the very end, there's a conflict.
Yeah.
But the chunk of the movie,
it's not a battle. See, you're misinterpreting the element of war here.
Fine.
War is mostly up here in your mind.
That's true.
The real battles take place in the minds of those who create the.
But most folks are going to be thinking like me and thinking, "Oh, where's all the guns? I want to see apes and man fighting against each other.
I want to see stuff blown up."
You get a little bit of it. You get a little bit of it, but it's not all the way out throughout the whole movie. This is a character study of Caesar, his friends, what they're going through, and what they're going through with man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm 100% on board with this film. 100%.
Yes, sir. I'm with you on that.
All right. So, I think it's rated PG-13, right?
Probably, yeah.
There are some action sequences, some deaths and stuff like that. So, definitely keep that in mind if you got little ones around and stuff like that. But this is one of the greatest movie trilogies of all time. I'm saying it. I'm stating it. I'm putting it in with Toy Story and Godfather and all that kind of stuff, man. So you can.
I'm surprised you didn't say Star Wars. Of course, it's not a trilogy anymore, is it?
Well, it depends on which trilogy you're looking at. You know, the prequels, the original. I mean, let's put it this way. To me, Star Wars trilogy, the original, is my all-time favorite. It's my all-time. Okay. But most people aren't going to include Return of the Jedi as one of the greatest films of all time, even though they're wrong. I love Ewoks, all right? I'm proud to say it. I love me some Ewoks. Sabrina, thank you for being on the show.
Always a pleasure.
Love you as always. Love your opinion. I miss your musk. All right, we're going to move on with some more reviews right here on the Screen Team. And remember, we want you to know
before you go.